Hey everybody, it's Mucha Marapa from Matrix Global Media, and what I wanted to do today was discuss with you the relationship, and certainly the relationship that I see and I think a lot of small businesses would do well to sort of adopt between the website and the blog. Because I've been doing so much training and teaching in the way of social media as of late, obviously I've been really stressing the relevance and the importance of the blog. Always the blog there, always the blog there. And an awful lot of people have sort of said, well, do you not believe in a website? Do you not feel that there is a role to play for a website because you're not sort of discussing a website as much as you used to? And secondly, with the importance that you're placing on the blog, is that the way we go? So what I wanted to do in this video was discuss the relationship between them, how I see them, the purpose of both, and how you can maximize both your website and your blog for the better of your business. So the first thing is, let's have a look and see how things are changing and why I have indeed come to this sort of mindset about the relationship between the two. I just don't believe that we are spending as much time looking at things online as we used to. You know, whereas in the past there may be a website that we'll sit down, we'll have a look, we'll spend some time there, we'll go from page to page and so on and so forth. It's just not happening anymore. And I don't know whether we have been programmed or trained with all the other bits and pieces going off not to spend any time looking, but the fact of the matter is we do not. So this is why I think we need to tweak and change and constantly sort of ask ourselves, you know, are we sort of getting out of the website and the blog what we need to be in order to move our business along? Now, the first thing I'm going to say before both of them sort of take place is that you've got to make sure that you've got Google Analytics on both your blog and your website anyway, because that'll enable you to sort of know where the traffic's coming from, how long people are staying on certain pages, what pages they're staying on, and it'll really give you some good information. But let's get straight into it, and talking about the website first of all. I believe in this modern day and age, the purpose of your website should be to do two things. The first is to introduce. People will go to your website and they will see about your business, who you are, what your values are. Two things that are vitally important with the whole introduction are your headline and hopefully the promise that you make with that headline. Now, where I say hopefully, it's almost like your promise is in many ways your USP, your unique selling proposition. What's making you different from other people in your industry in the same sort of line of work that you do? And the reason I want to harp on that for a little while is because with a headline you may have a name of a business that doesn't necessarily tell the person visiting the site what you do. Now, of course, if you're sort of in construction, you know, they'll go to the and they'll see photos of construction and so on and so forth. But if your headline doesn't do that, your promise has still got to be able to state something about what your business is about and how you can help them. I remember with Global Media, for example, we had it up there, and originally, you know, we've always had about sort of there for the small business, the self-employed, the entrepreneur, but I had a line that said, here to help you. And I'm really tough on myself, even tougher than I am on the clients, and I just thought, well, you know, that could be the Red Cross, that could be anybody, okay? So that's where, with our promise, we put down there, you know, teaching you to become your own best marketer. And we were saying what we are doing for you as an organization. So you've got to make sure that that is also on your website. Headline and preferably a promise. The next thing that's vitally important that you have on your website is proof. You tell me that you can do something for me or you can deliver something for me. What proof do you have? And I think, again, you can look at two angles to provide proof. Number one is the great tried and trusted formula of testimonials. And you can have these testimonials either listed on the website on a specific page. You can have them running down the side of the page on the home page where somebody's able to say, thanks so much for what you've done and I highly recommend you. You can also have testimonials in your video, which I'll talk about in a moment. But you must have proof that you do indeed deliver what you say you can. The next is an opt-in. This is something that just continues to baffle me. How some organizations on a homepage of a website do not provide something, an area where you can register your details and then establish an ongoing rapport with them. This is absolutely vital. Now, on the other side of the opt-in, what needs to happen is you need to give something of value. And before it was a free report, or it could be a voucher that you download, some form of discount, something. But we've also moved along to the stage about what you give the person visiting the site needs to be of genuine value. What I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to offer things that under normal circumstances I could very easily charge for. I want it to be that valuable to someone where they say, hey, listen, given the fact that he can give me something that can really help me, assist me, sure, here's my email. I mean, they can always unsubscribe if they're not happy with what you're subsequently sending them, or whether you're hounding them in their words, or whatever. But you must have that opt-in, and it's got to be based on value. Video is another thing that you must have on your website. Now, it can be direct to camera just like this, or it can be a slideshow where you're playing images or doing a PowerPoint presentation. But again, with this whole inability to sit down for any length of time and just read through something like it once was, I think it's vitally important that you've got something there. As soon as you go on autoplay, some video starts playing, which, coupled with the headline and the promise, makes somebody comfortable that they are indeed in that right place, and they'll go ahead and opt in and give you their email addresses. And then finally, I said to introduce, the other one is to invite. And another way of explaining that is a call to action. When people come to the home page of your website, you must tell them to do something. Register your details to receive this, follow us on Twitter, become a fan on Facebook, give us a call. You must tell them to do something. So that is it with the website. I look at a website to introduce and to invite. And we've moved over considerably now, because if you, for example, go to www.matrixglobalmedia.com, you will see next to no pages on that site now. You see a landing page. You see a value ad that we're saying to somebody, listen, feel free to download. There is a page on there that lists our products and our services, what we're about, which could come under the proof. But even when you go to our products and services page, you're not then clicking on for each product and service. They all go to separate landing pages so we can create a campaign. And I'll talk to you about those in a moment. So if the website is all about introducing and inviting, the blog has now got to the stage where it is about informing and educating. So we put inform and we put educate. So examples, and what does that mean, and how can one play sort of off the other? Well, over here on your website, you actually gave a headline and you made a promise about how good you are, what you can add to the bring to the table. Some of your clients and collaborators have also given proof that you do indeed do that. The blog is the place, it's the area where you begin to put a bit more meat on the bones. Content, knowledge, value, training, relevance. And when I say relevant, it's almost like if you're in the insurance industry and then all of a sudden there's an announcement that's been made that's changing the insurance procedures and policies, and it's relevant information. You're listing that on your blog because you are indeed informing and you're educating. Another great thing, significant thing, particularly in this day and age, that you need to have on your blog is multimedia. Now, I view the blog as the hub of social media. For any of you who have followed some of the other videos, I place the blog in the middle and then allow the Facebooks and the LinkedIns and the Twitters and the podcasts and so on and so forth to sort of all go back to the blog. But on that blog, you need to have video. Have a page that will link your YouTube videos back to your blog. Likewise with your podcasts. So when you're informing and educating and you're talking about relevant things, it doesn't always just have to be copy and articles that you write, although that's very good for keyword research, okay? Then, of course, you need to have your products, and your services. Very similar to the website, and you know, I haven't listed it here, but by all means you can list them. But again, on your blog, although you're adding value on the blog and informing and educating and training, you need to ensure on your blog there is an opportunity for somebody to say, hey, I've seen enough, I've witnessed enough, I've heard enough great things about you, let me buy something now. Vitally important you have that. And then finally, of course, there is the opt-in once again. You must be active in an ongoing capacity to capture information so you can continue really working that list. So there's the opt-in on there and there's an opt-in on here. Now, just finally before we finish, what I wanted to discuss was, because I'm encouraging, and if you look at many of my clients, all who have listed, I list on a page and I even do a little blog on case studies on how they're doing. With many of my clients, you're seeing them adopt a 1-page, 2-page, 3 tops for a website, and they've all got their blogs where they're educating and they're informing. But one thing we're very big on in the middle here are, of course, landing pages. And those landing pages can take 2 angles on. Number one is they can be landing pages just to capture information where you're adding more value. You may be discussing your products and your services. You may have a particular sort of niche product that you're looking to promote, or a specific campaign that you'd like to stand a little separately from something else. In my opinion, I do not believe you can have enough landing pages, or too many landing pages, I beg your pardon, because any time you want to sort of capture information and you create a standalone landing page that will then take people either to the blog or either to your website and you can begin the relationship, that's vitally important. So for many of my clients, although you'll only see 1 or 2 pages here, we'll show you half a dozen landing pages that specifically separate all their different products and their services so they can begin standalone and individual campaigns. Well, I hope this video has helped you. As always, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to get some feedback. So feel free to post your comments. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to speaking to you again very soon.